YouTube followers. This is DSM Origins, and this is Alonestarfox. We're going to talk about Star Wars BattleFront 2 and the difference between PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4. Stay tuned. Alonestarfox is going to talk about the story mode.
So, BattleFront 2 has one of the most legendary story modes ever created. Lucasfilm decided to make the story mode about the 501st Legion of the Stormtroopers, which takes place from the beginning of the Republic all the way into the last trilogy, even up until now. And the story mode covers the Clone Wars and the fight against the Rebels. It is one of the greatest story modes because it takes you through all of the Star Wars movies and all of the epic battles. The voiceover is great, the gameplay is great, and the cameo appearances from some Jedi, Darth Vader, Yoda, Mace Windu, and Luke Skywalker. All of these guys make different appearances in the game, which make it even better. And you get to play as them too. So, overall, I give Star Wars Battlefront 2 Story Mode a 10 out of 10. In addition, once you finish that, which at the end, if you're a super Star Wars fan, you are super excited, you can do Galactic Conquest, which you can team up with a partner. By the way, Story Mode is co-op, which is something that the new Battlefront does not have. It is a major disappointment. So, two people can play together against each other or on teams and take over all of the different bases in all of the different planets until you've reached total domination. Now, unfortunately, DICE's game, Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PS4 and the Xbox One, took a different turn and tried to make like a Hollywood movie kind of thing in the story of Iden Versio, who's supposed to be this part of the Infernal Squad, which is the special unit for the Empire. But upon playing this story mode, which I was really excited about, in like the third or fourth mission, you already become a part of the Rebel Alliance. So this game was sold on the premise that you play as Infernal Squad, and then in the middle of the story mode you change sides, and it's completely it's just like a complete plot hole, and it's really disappointing. I didn't even finish the story mode after that, to be honest with you. The writing is terrible. The characters are boring. The Empire is not the same without the Emperor. He's dead. It doesn't really do a good job in connecting the Return of the Jedi with the Force Awakens. And it's nothing compared to Battlefront 2's original storyline. So, as far as story mode is concerned, Battlefront 2 by LucasArts is by far the winner by a large margin.
The graphics of the PS2 Star Wars Battlefront 2 is good. It's perfect for the PS2, and it's not that much better than the PS4 one. The PS4 one, the graphics was perfect. The freaking picture is perfect. The lighting is perfect because it is the new improved one. That I feel about Star Wars graphics. The battle phase in the PS2 one was good. You could ride vehicles. You could shoot everybody with vehicles. There's a lot of new vehicles. The greatest one is the map is what you call it's the snow map.
Hoth.
Hoth is the best one in the PS2. Yeah, you can ride in the vehicles and destroy the forward-looking, what you call? AT-ATs. And you can suck them around and make them fall. That was the best one. And the scenery was so perfect. Millions of people shooting at each other with vehicles or on the floor. That is the best one.
And Battlefront 2, DICE's Battlefront 2 is really more of an online game as opposed to Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation, which is made for co-op. and split screen kind of play. So what we're looking at in DICE's Battlefront 2 is large multiplayer games, 50 on 50, 20 on 20. The only problem, there are many issues with the gameplay. Number one, vehicles, you have to purchase them through the points that you get by killing people or achieving certain goals in the game, such as using weapons and things like that. You have to get those points up in order to purchase vehicles. It's not like Battlefront 2, where all the vehicles would already be there and you can just hop inside and start killing people. The other thing too is that heroes, Jedis, Sith Lords, any type of heroes you have to unlock using a monetary system where you increase your rank as you go up. So sometimes if you have a bad game, you'll never have a chance to be a hero. Whereas in Battlefront 2, if your team is doing really well, you automatically become the hero. So Battlefront 2, I think the graphics are amazing, but graphics on its own cannot sustain a game. It needs good gameplay. And unfortunately, I played Battlefront straight for 2 weeks, and after that, I was completely and totally bored. Because the game types, Walker Assault, Blast, and the small 12 on 12 games, it gets really repetitive after a while. In Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation 2, you have Command and Conquer, which you go to each point and you capture each point, and it's a lot of fun. People are blasting each other, they're throwing grenades, the Jedis are coming in and slicing people up. Even though the graphics are terrible and the gameplay is kind of like bulky and it's hard, it's much more fun. I would even throw that on right now if I had it, as opposed to playing Battlefront 2. The most important thing about Battlefront 2 for DICE's Battlefront 2 is that they promised that they were going to give the players more split-screen gameplay, and they didn't. The only thing you can do is verse your friend or do some stupid mode where you defeat enemies, and that gets boring after a while. It's really repetitive, and you don't want to face your friend or work together and fight computers all day. They could have come up with something much better than that. For all of the money that they put into this game, it's really disappointing how a PlayStation 2 game is a million times better than something, one of the best companies that produce Battlefield, that produce Bad Company, that produce all of these good franchises. It's a really big disappointment. They've completely fucked up the Battlefield series for the new generation. But the PlayStation 2 version is a living legend still to this day.
To me, I'd rather take the PS2 Battlefront 2 because it got a lot of game modes, and I like the game modes. I've been playing it, and the PS4 is out with the Battlefront 2, and I still will play it. So to me, I give it to the PS2. What do you think, Alonestarfox?
PS2 definitely.
That's right, son.
PS2 definitely wins in this round. It just goes to show you, no matter how much money you have, if you throw money at a problem or at a game, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be better. Some games will live forever and some games will be forgotten. Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation is one of those games that will never be forgotten by the fans of Star Wars. DICE recreated this series. Sometimes you recreate something and it just doesn't have the same magic that the old games had. And I think that this is one of those situations where even though they tried, they created beautiful, beautiful maps. I think me and you can agree on that. The maps are beautiful in the new game, but the gameplay is just terrible. The stories are just terrible. And then also, the thing that enraged the fans the most is getting them to spend money in the game by purchasing extra things, which is completely disrespectful to the fans. You don't do that to people that spend $60, $70 on a game. You don't get them to spend more money. Battlefront 2 is for a Star Wars fan everything that you could ever want to relive the experience of blasting people and killing people with a lightsaber. It's pretty awesome. Yep.
This is DSM. This is Alonestarfox. And this is our review of BattleFront between PS2 and PS4. We sign out!
Yep.